Hello, my beautiful YouTube friends. I hope you guys had a very interesting Friday the 13th. Mine just consisted of making dinner, which is pretty normal on a Friday night. Anyway, today I am here to review The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Now, this is the first set of short stories in the series of Sherlock Holmes, but in all actuality, it is the third book in the series. Now, this was published between July of 1891 and June of 1892 in the magazine called Strand Magazine. Now, in October of 1892, all 12 of the short stories were published in one volume. I'm not sure if you guys were aware or not, but this book was actually banned in the Soviet Union in 1929 for the occultisms of its author. Now later, this embargo was lifted, but I thought you guys might find that a very interesting fact. These stories are very well crafted. I really enjoyed Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's writing. I think even though it's a classic and they're mysteries, they're easy to understand and the plot is actually very easy to follow through. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle tries to make sure you as the reader are trying to solve this case before Sherlock Holmes does. Some of these 12 were a little easier to delve into and figure out who done it, such as the Red-Headed League. Some of them are a little more twisted and you're a little more confused or creeped out, such as the Adventure of the Copper Beeches. Overall, I really enjoyed them. I thought that the writing was ingenious, the timeline was very well done. Some are told during Watson's bachelorhood, and some are told after he was married. I thought it was interesting that his wife, Mrs. Watson, was very supportive with regards to his going and helping Holmes solve a case. Now, one thing I thought was interesting is the fact that each of the stories are set in their own little area. Some actually reference other cases that we will probably never ever hear about. Now, I really enjoyed the uniqueness of each individual story. Sometimes when you'd finish one, it was hard to jump right into the next one. You needed time to kind of think it over and see the direction that Conan Doyle took the characters. Now, I really saw a lot of Holmes' more humane nature, not an animal instinct in a way, if that makes sense. But he really does care for his clients and what he's doing. Not only that, but in The Adventure of the Copper Beeches, he makes reference to the young woman that no sister of his should go and accept this position. This is how much Holmes cared for his clients. He was worried for the week before he received a letter from her with regards to what had taken place with her, if she was still alive, what was going on, and I really enjoyed that. Now, A Scandal in Bohemia is the first short story in here, and we're introduced to Irene Adler, and I thought it was interesting reading the traditional Irene Adler. I know that there has been some modernized adaptations of Irene Adler, but I really preferred the version that Conan Doyle wrote. She's very smart, and she's got wit, and she's pretty much what every woman in a novel would want to be, I feel like. Anyway, it's very understandable why Holmes was captivated by her as the woman, how she ended up outsmarting him. Anyway, guys, I really enjoyed the uniqueness of each story, and overall, I thought it was very well written. Now I'm going to read the first few sentences in the beginning of The Adventure of the Speckled Band, because I don't think it just goes to kind of overview all of the short stories, but I think it overviews Sherlock Holmes and Watson's relationship, as well as the complete Sherlock Holmes series. On glancing over my notes of the 70-odd cases in which I have during the last 8 years studied the methods of my friend Sherlock Holmes, I find many tragic, some comic, a large number merely strange, but none commonplace. For working as he did rather for the love of his art than for the acquirement of wealth, he refused to associate himself with any investigation which did not tend towards the unusual, and even the fantastic. I feel that that really emphasized why Holmes does what he does, and I really enjoyed getting Watson's point of view throughout these stories. Watson is more on the same level of thinking and understanding and comprehending as your average human. Sherlock Holmes is more of the intellect and looks beneath the surface for his evidence. Overall, I think that this duo is amazingly written, and I really enjoyed the short stories. I look forward to what is to come in the memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, go and pick up a random book and read, and Merry Christmas, guys.